How's it going, everybody? Happy holidays, happy new year. This is a nocturnal video of my prehensile tailed skinks. I'm just feeding them shredded apple right now.
I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
This is the male, being a little shy. Excuse me. Here is the female. Take some apple from me. That girl.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
Sorry about the red light, it's kind of washing everything out. She had a little bit of it.
Chestnut roasting,
Let's give him a big piece.
Jack Frost nipping
Oh.
at your nose.
Being shy.
So I'm offering this simple phrase. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
So these guys have a serrated dentition, serrated teeth. It allows them to cut through vegetation. So they've got some good jaw pressure on them.
I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
You can see them working at it.
Although it's been said many times, many ways,
Whoa.
Merry Christmas.
Let's do some shredded pieces. Whoa. Watch out, buddy.
That's what Christmas is all about.
So this is Crucia zebrata, the monkey-tailed skink, or the prehensile-tailed skink, or the Solomon Island skink, common names. They're being super shy. So I feed all of their food on the ground. They had 2 pothos plants in here, but I took them out because they had basically mowed them all down. So they were munching on that stuff. So they are not starving by any means. I gotta redo this enclosure. I feed on the ground, and then when they've got scraps left over, I actually have it on, I'm using a couple pothos leaves as a plate. And then when they have leftovers and they're not interested anymore, I will stir up the substrate or just kind of leave it be. I do have a cleanup crew in here, and they are breeding like gangbusters right now, so they usually take care of the leftovers. The skinks leave very little leftovers, so I'm not too worried about anything becoming soiled, that is. What's good about these guys is their turds are pretty easy to find. If I do miss one, though, it's not the end of the world because the cleanup crew takes care of it. Let's see if we can peer down into the crack here. I can't see them very well. I just think I got a tail. Got a tail. And there's a crack in between the foam and the cork. Got a series of cork rounds, cork bark, and they especially use this guy here. But it's nighttime, it's kind of chilly, so they're up there basking. temperature is set to, gosh, what's it set to? Like 78. So it doesn't need to be too warm, terribly warm. This is the little female. She kind of scooted down before the big male did. Oops, sorry. This is the little female. And this video is a little disorganized, but you know, it is what it is. We're here for the animals, right? I've never been one to script any of my videos, but while we're looking at them, we can go over a few facts on these guys. From the Solomon Islands only. Importation of these guys is actually just opened back up. They are being pretty readily captive bred, but it takes a lot for the female to produce a baby. I forget what the gestation is, but these guys give live birth, and the weight of the babies are about a third of weight of the female. So it takes a tremendous amount of energy for these animals to produce a baby, and rarely are there twins, but so one baby, and they take a lot of time to mature. So breeding these guys, the reason why they're so expensive, especially for a captive bred, is because of all that time and effort and, you know, years of care and investment for these guys. So hopefully I have a pair here. If these guys do make babies, or a baby, I've already promised it to my buddy who gave me my first Prehensile pygmy python. And that's Antaresia Prehensile. But yeah, sometimes I just kind of hang out and scope. So you're kind of seeing my view of these animals when I'm down here scoping them out. Right now, one of them, I think that's the male? No, that's the female. No, that's the male, I'm sorry. That's the bigger guy. You can see the thicker. Well, I hope you can. You know what, guys? This is crap. I'm turning on the lights. There we go. You can see my tarantula enclosures in the background. We'll do a video on those. That's a female down there. The male is slowly cruising down to the food. I've got an Arizona blonde in here. The enclosure next door. Tarantula, that is. Female. So these guys are incredibly smart, in my opinion. They're a very smart animal, and they, oops, that cork isn't secure, buddy. I just got a bunch of great stuff foam, so I'm gonna be moving them to the snake rack temporarily, the two, and I'll be building out this enclosure. I'm currently working on a big Corallus caninus enclosure. I've just got the male right now, male emerald, but I'm hoping to add a female, and then after she's done with her quarantine, I'm gonna quarantine for 90 days. I will introduce them together, and hopefully they make a litter eventually. But the male's heading down to the food, and so is the female. They've got incredibly sharp claws. I've been scratched up pretty good. Holding these guys for reptile talks at my old zoo. The ones I took out for talks were pretty docile. They never try to bite. Only thing you had to worry about was their claws. Like I said before, serrated teeth, perfect for cutting through vegetation, especially thin leaves. You know, you don't have a lot of structural integrity with leaves, so they have to kind of use the serrations, their teeth, in order to. And I think I'm using that word wrong. As a whole, their teeth look like serrations. You know, the edges of their teeth aren't necessarily serrated. There goes the male. And now the female's being shy. But I've got a bunch of isopods in here. I think giant pinks or orange, or I forget the specific species of isopod. And I did have a springtail colony in here, but I must have not kept it moist enough or something. They died off. So I'm gonna have to add some more springtails. But yeah, I was mentioning the foam before I got sidetracked by the emerald tree boa enclosure. I'm gonna rework this, secure the bark. They are putting good working to this foam. You can see it's all scratched up. So I'm gonna spray foam and then take care of the structure with a bit of a custom background. And then I'll be throwing another pothos plant in here for them to demolish. But this is a long, rambly video, so I'm gonna spare you guys. And go out. And next video will probably be on the progress of the Corallus caninus enclosure. It's gonna be a 3x3 foot footprint. And it'll be 5 feet tall. So it's gonna be a large enclosure. Trying to figure out a mechanism for the front, because right now it's just basically a 5-sided box with an open front. And I think I'm gonna do plexiglass with ventilation holes and magnets to attach the entire front to the box. And I'll be adding computer fans as well to pick up when the humidity gets too high. So I'm actually gonna automate that and hook it up to a, I think with the closed sides, I'll be dealing with too high of humidity rather than too low of humidity. So I'm gonna hook it up to a, gosh, I forget the word. It's not a hygrometer, because that's pressure, sorry, measures humidity, but it'll be kind of like a rheostat thermostat, except it will kick on when the humidity hits a certain low or high. And I'll also have a misting system, as well as a lot of live plants. Anyways, hey, almost a 14-minute video. Thanks for sticking with me so far. Sorry it's rambly. I am not a professional YouTuber. I just want to show you what's going on here. Thanks for watching. And again, I hope everybody has a great holiday. Like, don't comment, and subscribe, because the comments will be turned off.